My name is Johnny. Welcome to another Marvel Character Talk video. Today we're going to go back in time and look at what Marvel comics were selling for back in 1980. If you'd like, please subscribe, hit that notification bell, like, reply, and share. We're going to see like giant size X-Men or X-Men 94 or maybe the first Wolverine and see what they've got on this list here. This is from a ROM comics for 50 cents. Back then, cover price for the current one. So this is 1980, so we're 10 years into the Bronze Age. Bronze Age would go on a little bit longer and then be in the Copper Age, and then before that was the Silver Age, which they have some on here. So this is for Mile High Comics. These prices are really out of date. And I looked up too, this is for 80, and I looked up sort of the inflation and what the prices would be now. So around $3.90, I believe. Round that up to $4. So 4 times, if something says it's $1 here, it'd be 4. If it was $15 here, it'd be 60. To give you an idea of what we got, we'll just go looking here and see what catches my eye. Amazing Adventures that had like the first furry beast in it. Astonishing Tales that had Dr. Doom, and then also what was it? Was that with Kazar in that one? And Black Widow was in that one for a while, and the Inhumans. But let's look at the Avengers here. So you could get off the thing. They go all the way back to number 23. Those are just $4 each. Let's see. First Vision, number 57, was $12. And to compare, I don't know what they are now, but they were always charging a lot for these Kree Scroll Wars with Neil Adams, and then that's Barry Smith's back then. So you can see expensive. So I don't know what 93 goes for now, but I'm sure the Vision goes for a lot more. 57 was $12, so that'd be like $48 now. So that gives you things that were thought of more highly back then. Over time, it's changed on what you want, especially when we get to that X-Men. And you can see the prices of the back issues, annuals, giant size. Battlestar Galactica. Captain America, there's the first one, $12 you could pick that up here. That came out in 1968, I believe, and this is 80, so in 12 years, that 12-cent comic was $12. And now it'd be quite a bit more. There's the first Falcon, was $4 here. There's some Captain Marvel. There's that group, the Champions. Hercules was in that. Let's see, Conan. Selling the first one for $75 and the third one for that. And they, if they're listing them here, they're pretty much supposed to have them in stock back then. They're going all the way back to number 7 on Daredevil. Look at that, $7, and it was not differentiating between the price of 7 and 10. I believe 7 is the one with Submariner and the first red costume. So for $28, $7 back then. So things started to really pick up over the decades. There's the Defenders, Doctor Strange, $2.50 for that first one, that 169. Again, that's from 1968. There's Eternals, $1 or 75 cents. Look, you could get all the way back to number 25, which is the Hulk and the Thing, and then the 26 was the Avengers takeover, $20 each. And let's see, there's the first Silver Surfer. Look at that, back in the day, $25, and then $15 for $49 and $50. So 4 times 25 is $100 for 48. The first one there. Look at that, and look at that. They're charging $12 for 100, and only 15 for 49 and 50, because that was an anniversary. Oh, that was a big deal. Not so much anymore for the prices. There's the Ghost Riders, $6 for the first one. Godzilla, the Hulk issues. At 102 is the first continuing story of his second series that started in 68. It picked up from the Tales to Astonish. Invaders. Okay, let's move over. And look at this, you could get some discounts on all of this too. So say if you spend $100, which would have been a heck of a lot to spend right there, especially through mail order from them, but 15% off. There's Iron Man 1 was $25. That's that purple cover from 1968. And look at that, they call out, it's 55, the first one with Thanos. They do call it out, and it's in the $5 section, where things right next to it could be $2 or $1.50. There's a John Carter, Jungle Action, Kazar, King Conan, Man Thing Old, $12 for number 1 there. Marvel Featured, First Defenders, $15. Marvel Premiere, there's Warlock, $4. Iron Fist, $1.50. First Guardians, $1.50. Marvel Tales, Marvel Team Up, $15 back then for number 1. Move over to the next column. And this is for average or fine or better. And some of the older ones could be very good or better. Marvel 2-in-1, that's the Things. Master of Kung Fu. Micronauts, look at that, $6 for number 1 back then. Ms. Marvel, Nova. Peter Parker, also known as Spectacular Spider-Man. There's Rom. Sergeant Fury. Picked those all the way back. This is 14. That was a good one. That was the first one with Baron Strucker. And his Blitzkrieg Squad. $1.50. That's it. All the She-Hulk. And here we go. Spider-Man. Look at this. Even back in the Ditko days. So there were just 8. Like number 33, $8. And like I said, 4 times that. So, and 39 and 40. Those Green Goblin ones, $12 each. So that'd be 48 each. More Spider-Man. What we got here? Look at that, calling out that issue 100, 12. Well, they wanted a lot for anniversary issues comparatively here. And then a big deal, 121, 122. There was Death of Gwen Stacy and then Green Goblin. Spider-Woman, Star Trek, Tarzan, Thor. We're going to get to that X-Men. Thor, that was all the Kirby's. Well, it was Neil Adams, a big deal back then. So they want to, look at that, 3 times as much for the issues around it. Tomb of Dracula, number 1, $6. Warlock. Werewolf by Night, number 1, $5. So this is pretty cool look back here at what prices are. Here's the X-Men. So they got, look at that, only $5, 13 through 15. 13 is that the second Juggernaut, and no, 13, 14, 15. Those are the first Sentinels. $5 each. And see, look at this. They wanted a ton of money for X-Men 94. It was $50, and giant size number 1 was $50. But you notice they're the same. I always wanted the same, or sometimes even a little bit more for number 94 than the giant size, because it was part of the in the run and the whole thing. And then it was pricey to get 95 back then. So if you had $50 back then to get that, let me go back for fit and look at the magazines. Let's where was Hulk? Was that Hulk or Incredible Hulk? Yeah, okay, look at this. Back then, there we go. Sorry, I skipped that. So 180 and 182, they're not calling them out as anything. And 181 for $3.50 back then. You could have got the first Wolverine and stocked up on that baby. Because look at the price difference here. So the first Wolverine is $3.50 in, equivalent condition. But X-Men, you see the prices there of all of them. Compared to $3.50, you'd have to pay $50. So what is it? If it's 10 times 35, it's like 15 times the price back then. So if you it's a good idea to spend $50 to get a new X-Men. But if you bought $50 worth of the Hulk 181s at $3.50, how much farther you'd be ahead. And let's look back. Where's Amazing Spider-Man? Is it under that, or is it under Spider-Man? Yeah, it's under Spider-Man. Now let's look. 121. No. Yeah, what are look at that. Oh yeah, that's what I want to see. I got sidetracked by those because they didn't call it out special. What is it? 129. The first Punisher. Yeah. So if you spent your money on the first Punisher at $2.50 a pop, and then on the Hulk, that would have been a much better buy, the Wolverines, than spending $50 each on these. You might want one of these, but for the equivalent amount of money, what all you could have gotten back then for that. So, you can see what choices could have been made and so forth. Back here's some Marvel magazines that they've got. So that was interesting, and each year the prices would creep up. So this is just the beginning of 1980s. You got the 1990s, the 2000s, the 2010s or 20-teens. Now we're in 2025, the 2020s when I'm filming this. What if you were back then and you had some money to, I think if you had $100 back then to spend, would you buy that Hulk and that Punisher, and buy as many as you could, or would you spend it on the X-Men 94 and giant size X-Men? You get one each of those for $100, or you get how many of all of these for that? And so that's a question to ponder on prices in the past. All right, that was a look back. 1980 comic, full page, double page from Mile High Comics. Hope you enjoyed looking at that. If you'd like, and if you would like to, you could leave a super thanks. Much appreciated if you do. We'll be back again with more Marvel character talk. Lots more things to see for Marvel. Thanks for watching.